Welcome to the Forge Gaming.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to our first podcast for the Forge Gaming. My name is Judah.
And I'm Troy. And today, this is our first podcast.
Yeah, first podcast for the channel. We actually, this channel technically started, I don't know what the exact date was, the Tuesday that the Division came out. Our first video came up, and slow in coming, but we're going to start pumping out the content, so.
Yeah, we've been way too busy playing.
Yeah.
Way too busy trying to rank up and enjoy playing video games as usual.
Well, in a base like this, I like to think of that as just extended research. You have to research the games you're going to talk about. So.
Yeah, I mean, we can't talk about the game unless we actually play the game.
Right.
So
we have excuses. But thanks for listening in, guys. Just like I said, we're going to be making more content. You're going to have a couple of videos up by the time this one comes up, and it's going to start from here and go from there.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed our first YouTube video. That was all. The music was all us. The music was all us. Right. That was our own original music.
Yeah, and all of our content is going to be self-generated. We're going to be doing the editing. We're going to be doing the. Troy's been making all the music for each one of the videos. We'll be editing, we'll be filming, and, do pretty much DIY the whole way through. So, All right,
but on our first topic, we're talking about King of Consoles here.
Yeah, it's been an interesting turn around because, for years, as far as consoles go, obviously Call of Duty was in charge of things. And, I guess it was about Call of Duty Ghosts or Advanced Warfare came out that, it started losing some love a little bit and people started drifting away from it, thinking it was changing too much, thinking it wasn't changing enough. And, as that started to go away, even the old guys at Inside Gaming, they talked about how Destiny was going to kind of take over the, the crown of the consoles, and it definitely started to happen. It was drawing a crowd, and of course every crowd is going to have hate, and there's definitely a lot of Destiny haters out there. But now this year has had quite a bit of twists. First of all, with last November we had Black Ops 3 come back, which has already completely redeemed the franchise. I think Troy, you can probably agree with me there.
Yeah, Call of Duty is definitely back with a vengeance. It came back to take its crown and sit on its throne.
Yeah.
But Black Ops 3 has been a breath of fresh air when it comes to first-person shooters. It's brought back the old Call of Duty style. It's taken away from all the advanced movement that Advanced Warfare brought. That was it. I feel like the movement that Advanced Warfare did, it made a lot of guns obsolete and it made it hard to play.
Yeah.
Just a little frustrating.
It was overkill, with Ghost, everybody, because Ghost had to back up Black Ops 2, which was looked at as one of the best Call of Duty games ever. So whenever that one didn't, handle itself so well in comparison, by the way, Troy's wearing a Call of Duty Ghost shirt right now. I just want to point that out.
I am wearing a Call of Duty Ghost shirt right now. Call of Duty Ghost is a good game.
It's a good game.
It's a good game.
It gets so much flack, but the only reason I believe it got so much flack is because it had to follow up a great game like Black Ops 2. But like I was saying, everybody wanted to change, and then all of a sudden, Sledgehammer came around and said, "Well, we'll make a change," and it was just way out of the water. But then. Black Ops 3 and Destiny, they kind of started battling it out, and then just last Tuesday, a little game called The Division came out, and it's already breaking records. It's already the top-selling Ubisoft game that's come out in the first week of launch, and it's not stopping. I think we just checked, you just checked Twitch earlier, and what's that placing on Twitch right now? It's got to be one of the top-ranked games.
It's up there at the top right now, but The Division is Ubisoft has definitely redeemed himself from Watch Dogs, which it seems like Ubisoft keeps trying to go along the Grand Theft Auto route.
Yeah.
With the third-person shooters.
Right. it's almost like they really, really want to be, Skyrim, GTA. They can't seem to figure out their own thing sometimes, aside from maybe Assassin's Creed, which has been one of the only long-standing
Ubisoft games
that they've held together.
But first impressions on The Division. I've played a ton of it already.
Yeah, he's passing me up already. I picked up the game the day it came out. He picked it up the night before, and I'm still, even right now, I would love to hop on and even play some more. It's addicting to say the least, and it's kind of become a pattern with the loot-based shooters where the drops and the drop rate and all that stuff are enough to kind of just make you crave to play even more, and that's what drew a lot of people into Destiny, and it is genuinely fun to play. Troy was saying the other day whenever we were playing that it's a breath of fresh air for shooters, and especially another good third-person shooter in a while. I think Gears of War. That's probably the last good one.
Still waiting for that.
Yeah,
still waiting for that. But I mean, the thing is that it doesn't do much compared to Grand Theft Auto. I'm gonna keep comparing The Division to Grand Theft Auto because it's basically the same style.
Right.
It's like they made Grand Theft Auto. They took all the people out, and you can't drive. It's Grand Theft Auto in a post-apocalyptic world, and it's almost like. And I was telling you this the other day that it almost feels like Grand Theft Auto DLC sometimes.
DLC, yeah, I agree because it's one of those things like. You would think like, man, wouldn't a post-apocalyptic GTA mod be awesome? And then you have The Division, which we're not downplaying The Division at all, saying that it's nothing but a mod for GTA because it definitely holds its own. But it's like I said, it's already breaking records. And look, we've seen the Titanfall effect before. Titanfall came out. It was amazing for a couple months. The only thing is that The Division is following, just like Destiny was, the MMO pattern. And MMOs have a very good track record for consistently, keeping the attention of their fan base. Whether it be DLC, special events, microtransactions, whatever.
Yeah.
They support their games. And, as much as I'm not a huge Ubisoft fan, they know what they're doing most of the time. So
yeah, the thing that I'm worried about is this going to be a fad? Is The Division a fad? Is this going to be a game that you only play for that first year, and then the content stops coming out, and then all of a sudden you're back on Call of Duty, you're going back to GTA 5, you're going back to those games that we're comfortable with, those games that have super long longevity. GTA 5, man. When did GTA 5 come out? It's been like 3 years.
It was the last
2 years.
It was the year before the next gen consoles came out. So was that?
It's like
2013, 2014.
Yeah, and it's still top 5, man.
Yeah,
it's still top 5.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, and this is something that I really think that Destiny and and The Division need to start learning from is a lot of these games have two things: user-created content and private matches. Neither of these two games have those things because they're, the whole always online, MMO standpoint. So it's two completely different beasts, but I do agree that games like Call of Duty and stuff like that have more longevity because, realistically in the long run there is more to do. That's the problem that everybody has with Destiny. There's not enough content. As if, they just put DLC on a conveyor belt and they can just keep on pumping it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about Call of Duty is that it's games like Call of Duty and games like Halo. It's all about the competitiveness. It's all about bare bones. Get your classes together. Right. Who's better? Who can shoot better? Who can pull the trigger faster? Aim down sights. Whatever, strategy and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, Destiny, you have the raids, and things like that.
Right.
But a raid is a raid, and once you've completed that raid, then it's like, The only reason why you keep going back to do the raids is because of armor,
right,
and upgrades and things like that.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was just about to get to. Is that's kind of the pattern that these kind of loot-based games have gotten to. Is me and Troy have both put hundreds of hours, if not 1,000, into Destiny by now, and
yeah,
it's gotten to a point to where you would go on Team Finder websites, and the Division's got something similar built in the game, and you would rarely find a group of people going to do things in the game strictly because they enjoyed it. You'd occasionally find the people going back and doing old content or something like that, but you go in and people get upset if they went. I've heard people say, "Man, I went through that entire raid and I didn't get anything good. What a waste of time." Yeah. You didn't really ever hear that before loot-based games. It's created this mentality where I'm not in it for the enjoyment. I'm in it for I want to get more stuff. Is the incentive behind it. So
that's what it makes me think, that sometimes these games are rushed, because when you look at Rockstar and what they do with Grand Theft Auto, they come out with a Grand Theft Auto like every 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah.
And they take their time. And Grand Theft Auto is so deep. It has so much depth to it.
Right.
And I feel like the Division has depth to it, but it doesn't have Grand Theft Auto depth to it. I feel like there will be a Division 2 in like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
As opposed to a 7-year lifespan, like a GTA.
Right, and that's why I've always kind of appreciated whenever a game does get delayed. I hate that I don't get to play it for a little bit longer, but I know that they're saying, well, we're not going to publish an unfinished game. The funny thing about this is that Ubisoft is infamous for producing unfinished games. If you've seen anything about the last Assassin's Creed game, you know what I'm talking about. But another thing I want to talk about, and this is goes along with just about every game out there right now, and that is the pattern of microtransactions and DLC. And because I was telling you the other day, and for those of you who don't know, with the Division, if you get the season pass right off the bat, which if you play Call of Duty, stuff like that, that you get the maps for free, or you pay less overall, whatever. But with the Division, the way that they're doing it is they're basically saying that if you are a season pass holder, means you spent $100 instead of $60 for the game, then you get special privileges during the game. Weekly. You get exclusive stuff for yourself, and it's extra incentive that you're paying more money for. But are you being sold a lesser game itself whenever you don't buy the special edition, collector's edition? Because I know myself, who paid full price for the original game, I'm getting less content than those people who bought the season pass, even though no DLC has dropped.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here, as when it comes to paid DLC, is that I read an article the other day that gaming is a $99.3 billion industry in the world. Right. In the world. And gaming is at an all-time high right now. And we're not just talking about consoles, we're talking about mobile phones, we're talking about portable, we're talking about PC, all of that put together. And I'm surprised, and I think the reason why they're taking the DLC route is because they don't want to increase the prices of video games.
True.
I feel like video games right now, they should probably be $80.
Oh no, and if you look at if you account for inflation, the cost of video games is actually drastically lower than what it used to be.
Yeah.
If you count, I don't know. Somebody was telling me the other day that I think one of the original Ataris in our currency would be like over $1,000. Because money back then obviously was less for the dollar, but and I can agree with that, and that's why I like with Call of Duty, for instance, the last 2 Call of Duty games have come out with microtransactions where you can buy the little supply crates and you can get, weapons in them and stuff. Black Ops 3 has corrected a lot more than Advanced Warfare, but Advanced Warfare got to the point to where you could, by chance or by money, get a gun that could be better than the person that you're going against. That's where I feel like it gets a little bit game-breaking. Whereas something like what Destiny recently did, where they added, the little emotes and the dancing and stuff like that, I can appreciate that is something that is totally optional, doesn't affect the game at all, yet it furthers the developers to be able to have more funds to work on more content for us. So there's definitely a line where I feel like it is justifiable, but you shouldn't feel like you're being, cut short because you're not paying the extra content.
Yeah. And that's why, I feel like, we've had this conversation before. I feel that DLC should go 2 years.
For Call of Duty.
For Call of Duty. For games that come out yearly.
Right.
I feel like DLC should go 2 years long. 4 installments each year. 8 installments altogether.
Yeah.
And
it definitely has to do with the amount of popularity that the game got during its lifespan. I have a hard time believing that people would be buying Call of Duty Ghost DLC 2 years after its launch.
Yeah. That brings me to Halo 5.
There we go. Free DLC.
Halo 5 free DLC, the game that gives you what you want and no one plays.
I'll tell you what, though. The people that you play in the Halo community are some of the most dedicated fans you will play against or play with. They stay true to Halo.
Yes. You want new maps for Halo 5? Just go on YouTube and check out what somebody created in Forge.
Right.
Send them a friend request and download their map. Boom. You got free DLC there.
Right. And it's like what we talked about earlier about, how often does a Halo game come out? They're not annual.
No.
I heard the question asked in a different podcast a while back. It asks, would you rather have a game with a yearly cycle like Assassin's Creed where it improves a little bit each year, or would you rather have a game cycle where it comes out every 3 years and there's greater improvements every 3 years? I would personally rather have the break, and that has a lot to do with the fact that there's just way too many games out right now. What would you rather have? Would you rather have yearly cycles with a little bit of improvement, or 2-3 year cycles?
Yeah, I would like to see 2-3. I would personally like to see a 5-year cycle.
Yeah.
On a game. So I like to see exactly like what they do with Grand Theft Auto 5, what they did with Grand Theft Auto 4. I like to see, and the thing is that Grand Theft Auto is so much greater on PC than it is on consoles with all the mods and stuff like that. So there's so much to do. But I like the Halo route. I like the route that Halo's taken. Where it's you come out with new Halo every 3 or 4 years. Give us some DLC every now and then. And you got Forge, and you can create your own maps. And we saw somebody made a Nuketown map.
Oh yeah.
On Halo 5.
That's what I'm
saying.
Pretty
dang accurate.
You hand a community of that many people an open space and all the tools they need, and you're gonna have content forever. I could go back and play Halo 3 right now and still probably find stuff I haven't played before.
Yeah. And then they take those maps and add them to the community.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think a lot of people could learn from, I was about to say Bungie, but 343 or Halo in general. It's just the community that they have there. And of course, every game's going to be different. And GTA 5 is the first one to have, this much user-created content. And I believe that's why it's still being, it's continuing its popularity so far along the way.
Yeah.
If it had just been the single player, it might have, slowed down a little bit. But imagine if The Division, they gave people the freedom to do all that. Now I understand you can't just flip a switch and say, okay, now you have Forge mode.
But it takes work.
But if they want to have that longevity, like, Call of Duty, like, I almost said Halo, but nobody plays Halo. If they want to be like that, then I feel like that's going to be necessary in the long run. I mean, Destiny plans on being a 10-year cycle, of games. So.
And when we say no one plays Halo, we're not saying that no one plays Halo.
We're saying
there are people playing Halo.
Comparison,
I'm playing Halo. We're playing Halo. But when we look at the top ranked games that are being played right now, Halo is barely in the top 10.
Yeah, but there is,
which is truly sad.
Right. There is a competitive scene around Halo 5 that's growing quite a bit, and for those who don't know, they just added Griffball. So if you didn't have enough reason to go play again already, then there you go.
Yep, and Social Fiesta.
Yeah,
which is also pretty fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to it. Once again, all this stuff is free, so it's interesting to think about, because you look at things like EA and Activision. You think that they're the ones that have all the money, so they have less reason to charge you even more. You don't really think of 343 as one of the wealthiest developers out there, do you? Yeah. Yet they're the ones offering the free DLC, and they're still making it.
Yep.
So you just have
343 with their one game that they make.
Yeah, one game every 3 years. But it's something where beggars can't be choosers, and if you want to beg, then you don't have to play video games. It's one of those things. It's like people complain about how much movie tickets are or something like that. Well, you don't have to go see a movie. So they're creating content for us, and I was thinking about this the other day that just like the amount of the video games go down in price. Like, I remember there was a huge uproar about Destiny a little bit before Year 2 came out. And they talked about giving away the first game plus the first 2 DLCs for $60. Meanwhile, everybody else paid $120 altogether for the DLC and the game. So everybody was getting, pissed off. Well, I could go buy Modern Warfare 2 at GameStop right now for probably $15. People have to understand that things lose value over time.
Things like Advanced Warfare loses value. There's some games that keep its value though. Like, I went to GameStop the other day, man, and I saw Left 4 Dead 2 up there, man, and that game is still like $25.
Yeah, and how old is that game?
It's pretty dang old. It's what is it? Man, is it almost 8 years old? Probably.
More than that.
I think it's about 8 years old, man. 7, 8 years old.
Yeah. Valve's another one that does that. They know what they're doing. They span it out.
Yeah.
They make finished games.
Does Valve make games anymore?
No, they make DLC, and they make Steam. So
Half-Life 3?
Never gonna happen. Besides, I'd rather have Portal 3. Nobody hate me for that though. All right.
Oh man. Well, it's been good.
Yeah, that about wraps up what we had on the agenda to talk about today. But we will definitely be back doing more of these, covering whatever the topic might be at the moment. We will be talking on anything that goes around. So.
Yeah, and make sure you hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom. Like the video if you like it. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and we got more content coming for you guys. We have more content coming, so it's gonna be great.
All right, guys, stay tuned, and we will be back, and we will see you guys online.
See you online.
Later, guys.